everybody. Happy spring equinox. I just did a journey and asked if there was anything goddess energy wanted me to say today. And I closed my eyes and I went into a shamanic journey, state of mind, and it was really beautiful. I closed my eyes and I immediately saw this woman in a cave, like wrapped in this really soft blanket. She was sort of, I don't know, young, but not too young. And she was waking up. And she walked outside of her cave and she looked. And she saw that what was passing was the patriarch. And I could see the visions of all the wars and all the slavery and the disease and the disharmony, which had started about 5,000 years ago at the onset of the patriarch. And she had just slumbered. The ancient goddess within all of us has been asleep. And in a sense, it was to protect us, but it was to protect her innocence and her value and her beauty and her love. She's been kind of slumbering, and she's waking up. And so this spring equinox is especially poignant and beautiful and powerful. And I saw that she was a combination of, it seemed like Persephone and Demeter, um, the ancient Ulyssean mysteries about the mother who is separated from her daughter, Persephone, and Persephone goes to Hades, and she's captured by the underworld god, and her mother, Demeter, crosses the earth in agony and bringing all kinds of destruction onto the earth until she finds their daughter, and they are reunited at in the spring, and Persephone comes to the surface. And it almost feels like Persephone and Demeter have joined and become a wise woman. And if any of you know my story, I lived the role of both Persephone seeking her mother and Demeter seeking her daughters, her lost daughters. And so I relate very deeply to the myth of Persephone and Demeter. And I see this age of without the goddess is passing and that she is waking up. And I saw that you can channel this very high vibration by just asking for it to come through. And if that's going to be a big part of bringing this new world into fruition, is channeling the loving, unconditional beauty of the ancient goddess who reigned on earth about 5,000 years ago before the onset of this patriarch. But she has woken up, and it feels like a very powerful spring equinox. And I feel like there had to be a purging, and there is a purging going on. Unbelievably wonderful things are happening in the background now for the animals, for the children, for the earth, which we can't see, which is not reported on, but I can feel it happening. So I feel we're ushering in this era, this fifth world the Hopi spoke about, and many other um, ancient wise people and shamans. Another thing I wanted to mention that I met a man who was a filmmaker, and he had been filming in Peru, the shamans, and that is one of, one of only a few unbroken channels of shamanic tradition is the Peruvian shamans, and they had predicted this world as well. And they made an interesting observation, which they had shared with this filmmaker, that the West will become the spiritual center of the planet, and the East will become the technological, which means the U.S. Is moving into becoming the spiritual center of the whole planet. And at one point, it was the East with the Tibetans and the ancient Eastern religions, but that's shifting, and you're going to see America become the heart-centered spiritual center of the whole world. And that's another really exciting um, component of everything that is happening right now. So I'm feeling just incredible earth energy, incredible goddess energy, coming up from the earth. So don't just stare at the TV, feel what's happening on the earth too. She is your mother, and she will sustain you. And nature is opening up to us. You don't get the virus by being in nature. You can go to the ocean, go to the streams, go to the woods, and it's a wonderful place to go to refuel and to gather energy. So I'm going to leave it pretty light right now. Again, happy equinox. The world is turning on its from winter to spring, but also it's morphing into a new earth. And I've been waiting for this my whole life. Blessings.